Hello, welcome to A Few Minutes with Titus. I'm Buddy Pennington, pastor of Westville Assembly of God in Holmes County, Florida. This is lesson number 2 and part number 2. I'll be reading to you for this lesson from Titus chapter 2, verses 2 through 6. I'll be reading from the New Living Translation on this one. Allow me to do that for you now. Teach the older men to exercise self-control, to be worthy of respect, and to live wisely. They must have sound faith and be filled with love and patience. Similarly, teach the older women to live in a way that honors God. They must not slander others or be heavy drinkers. Instead, they should teach others what is good. These older women must train the younger women to love their husbands and their children, to live wisely and be pure, to work in their homes, to do good, and to be submissive to their husbands. Then they will not bring shame on the word of God. In the same way, encourage the young men to live wisely. Paul now turns his attention to the instructions that Titus is supposed to be giving to the new believers in the congregations on the island of Crete. He approaches the older and younger men and women in his instructions. Now, the older men are to be taught to live in a fashion that would show a conduct demonstrating wisdom, self-control, faith, goodness, trust in the gospel, patience with others, and love for others. Now, the older women who were to abstain from slandering other people and from being heavy drinkers, and we have to imagine that that meant heavy drinkers of alcohol. It is also interesting to note that Paul specifically instructs the older women to be sure that they train the younger women to live with wisdom and to love their families and their husbands, and to submit to the authority that the husband has in the structure as head of the household. Now, Titus was also to teach the younger men to live with wisdom, just as the older men should live with wisdom. Paul seems to emphasize to Titus this concept of teaching wisdom to the people, regardless of whether they are male or female, young or old. Now, there had to be a reason for this emphasis. In lesson number 1, part 4, the inhabitants of the island of Crete are described by one of their own prophets as being gluttonous, lying animals. Now, that's quite a condemnation coming from one of their own people. Now, the modern term Cretan is occasionally used to refer to people from the island of Crete, but it's also used to refer to a vulgar, insensitive, sometimes stupid individual. Titus is to counteract the behavior in the new believers that they were famous for, according to their own prophet, by teaching them the good news of Jesus Christ, and he was to give them a new standard for their daily life. He is to instruct them about the gospel, but he is also to instruct them to be able to display better social behavior. Their new lives as followers of Jesus were to be established on Christ's teachings, which Paul had shared with Titus, and Titus was to share with them. Those teachings would show people how to live in truth, how to live in self-discipline, and how to live in civility with others. Now, we will continue the things that Titus was to teach in our next video of A Few Minutes with Titus. It is our prayer that these videos are a blessing to you. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and also to our Facebook page. If you leave comments, questions, or prayer requests in our comment section following the video and the notes, you will be contacted when we have future posts. May God richly bless you until next time when we get together for A Few Minutes with Titus.